guys, Brannan Lawson with the Art Barn Studio. I'm so glad you're joining me for this kids art lesson. Today's painting or drawing or coloring, whatever you want to do, is the pig Pigcassio or Picasso pig. I'm not sure. There's a book, I'll link it for you to read with this lesson, but we're going to be taking a pig and drawing it in a Picasso way. What you haven't learned about Picasso is when he does portraits, he usually takes the parts of your face and mixes them up. Big eyes, small eyes, one eye, the other eye. The nose is mixed up, the mouth is different. So we're going to be taking that lesson and working our way and drawing a Picasso pig. Then feel free again to add whatever color you would like using whatever materials. Feel free to use one of my favorite tools, alcohol ink markers, paint, watercolor, colored pencils, great. Actually, you could use all of these and create a Picasso pig, as we are going to draw him and create different sections of his face and using the different materials. So this is a great lesson to use different mediums, or actually it's called a mixed media part, to learn how to use them all. So go grab your art supplies and let's get started.
Hey guys, we're going to be doing probably one of my favorite lessons. Not only is it my favorite color, but it is one of my favorite animals. So you can see I have tons of pink supplies. Today's art lesson, we're going to be able to use whatever kind of medium you have or want to try. It's going to be a mixed media picture. I have markers, alcohol ink, felt markers, paint sticks, crayons, colored pencils, crowns, and even going to add a little bit of semi-moist tempera paint. So I'm not obviously going to use all of these, but I want to show you that you can use all different shades of pink. So if you only have one set of pink paint, then you can always use white and black to shade and tint the different pink to create different shades of pink, or you could use the arsenal of your supplies to create the different shades of pink. So I'm going to get this put away. Okay, so I have a 9x12 piece of white student paper. It is vertical. I also have the coloring sheet I've printed and the step-by-step drawing sheet. So if you're going to be drawing it with me, this is always nice to have next to you. If you have ones that are too small to draw it, feel free to print this out and they can just color it as we draw it. So first I'm going to get my drawing tool. So you always have options. You could use a pencil and then make sure that you trace it with a black marker. I'm going to go straight into the black marker. I've already drawn it, so I kind of know where I'm going with my lines. The first step is going to be folding it. Take the short top and you're going to fold it to meet up the short bottom. This is going to give us the invisible line, which is the middle of our paper. And that's kind of where we are starting with our pig's nose. I'm going to explain that this shape that you're going to be drawing right in the middle is like a goggles. Like if you have goggles that you go scuba diving with, that is the shape. Or kind of remote control, depending on what remote you use. So that's our first step, is going to be drawing that weird pig nose. So it is a curved, oops, something underneath here, curved top, and then it's one bump, and then it goes up in the middle, and then another bump. Again, my invisible line is right in the middle. Now his nose has a little bit dimension, so on one side of the nose, we're going to draw the same curve going a little bit farther. So I'm going to start at the top, come out, follow that same curve, and then meet back on the bottom where it bumps up. And then I'm just going to add a little lines to give you that little look. His mouth is open, so right where this bump is, we're going to draw a almost J shape. And then we're going to come kind of back and up, which is kind of more of an L shape. The open mouth. So I come back and then I move up. So that's his open mouth right there. Inside there, I'm going to do bump, bump for his tongue. this little point right here of his mouth. We're going to start there. We're going to be coming down for part of his chin, and then we're going to kind of be slowly working up and around back to that spot for his head. Now, you got to make sure that you're leaving room at the top, plenty of room for his ears that we're going to be creating. So make sure that you don't go all the way to the top. So on this point, I'm starting right there. I'm going to curve down. I'm going to make his chin, so I'm going to make a little bump in and then bump back down, and then I'm going to come up straight on this side, curve, again, leave room at the top, come back around, right where that fold is, I'm going to bump in again, and then come all the way back down. It's a very odd shape. So again, if you miss these little bumps, don't worry about it. If you just get it's kind of more of a rectangle with curves shape, not so much a round. So if you forget these little bumps, don't worry about it. Okay, his neck is right under there. Make sure that you're taking these necklines all the way to the end of your paper. Okay, his first ear is a flap ear. So on the right side, we're going to draw kind of a curved line heading out that way. It's got a straight flat top. And then you're going to curve down a little bit. And then this line is kind of coming up towards that corner, but it's not touching it. And then you're going to connect right here with two lines. And then not at this point, you're going to come in some and connect down to that point. If this is too hard, you're going to do both ears like I'm doing here. So please understand, if you're looking at this thinking, I cannot recreate it, what you can do is just do this ear, which is coming up, across, and back down. And then on the inside, you're going to do a half circle. So you could always do two of these ears. But because we're doing Pigcasso, he has all these different parts that kind of Picasso does with his self-portraits. His eyes are different, his ears are different. So that's how I'm doing this. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the first eye, which is your left side. So we're going to start touching the nose, and we're going to draw a line up, not all the way, and then we're going to take this and go all the way to the end of the face. In this corner, kind of like a sun peeking out, we're going to draw a curved line from the top to the nose. Then we're going to add some eyelashes coming off this way, coming off that way. His other eye is different. So it is 3 circles. So we're going to do the first big circle. Then we're going to do the colored part of your eye, the iris. Then we're going to do the pupil of your eye. And in the pupil, I'm going to leave a highlight. So in this corner, I'm going to make a U. And I'm just going to color on the outside of the U in that circle. So that little white dot stays. Again, some more eyelashes, an eyebrow. Just a long, skinny rectangle. And then don't forget the dot in this eye. It's just a circle. Okay. Oh, nostrils. Don't forget those 2 dots. That's it. So, again, if you've drawn this with pencil, don't forget to outline it with permanent marker, especially since we're going to be adding all different types of color. We've done that already. If you haven't, make sure you hit pause and get that outlined. Color in those black dots, things that are black. Oh, I'm going to color in his eyebrow black. Okay. Now, getting what you're going to use. Like I said, I'm going to use some different mediums. I know I'm going to use some colored pencils, probably a crayon, probably a paint stick. Some of my tempera paint, which I'll probably do last. I only got one color to use, which is a reddish pinkish color. So let's see. I'm just going to start adding shades. Every section, you can see in your little drawing thing, all the different sections, I'm using the different colors. The only thing I'm adding color that's just different is the eye, which I'm probably going to use a greenish bluish color. So I'm just going to start at the top and work my way down. And it doesn't have to be like in this picture, how you saw half of his face is in one pink. I could always separate a different color on the bottom, even though the different shapes may not be separated by lines. So go grab the different markers and crowns and colored pencils and paint and anything that you would like to use to add color to your pig. Oh, a good idea is take a piece of paper and make sure you know, like that's too red. That is just red. I don't want that. Some colors can be deceiving of what they are. Let's see. Oh, there's pink. Okay. That's better. And if they're too close together, I don't want to use them. Ooh, I like that one. And peaches are good too. Okay, so you can see how I broke down different sections of the face by lines and then how I broke down different sections just on my own. So you can see there's kind of division where this bump comes in. So I did that little section a different color, and then kind of where the cheek runs diagonal with the mouth, I did that a different color. So even if you don't see a line technically to separate part of the face, you can always create your own lines to create those sections using the different mediums materials. So make sure that you are using different mediums. Make sure you're doing different shades from a light peach color is acceptable to a pink. And then obviously the eye color, you can choose whatever color you want. So my last step, and if I used more paint than if you use more paint than I did, you may want to let this dry before you add the background. But my last step is going to be adding the background, which again, you could pick any color you want. I suggest not a pink color. So I'm going to use my my moist tempera paints to add the color to the background. Please make sure that as you use them, you're thinking about your water cup and being a respectful painter. You never want to tap the cup. You never want to splash the water. You don't want to have the water come out of your cup. As you are bringing the brush out of the cup, make sure that you're wiping it off the side, or if you have a paper towel, dabbing it on the paper. You never want to tap, because when you tap is when the water splashes and it makes a mess. So you always want to bring it out, let it drip. You can always give it a shake, a 1-2 inside the cup that helps get the extra water off, or drag it off the side. So I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to add the background. That's going to be the last step of your Pigcasso. Okay, so I've added the background to my Pigcasso. Again, always focus on one color, because when we do multiple colors in our background, we lose the focus of our main point, which is the Pigcasso. So our different colors are in the pig. We don't want to add the different colors to the background. We want to focus that on one color. So that is the choice of your one color and the choice of your medium. So make sure that you know what color you're going to be doing on the background. So I noticed one other step I'd like to do when all this dries is go back with my permanent marker and kind of clean up these lines that I may have colored over with the different mediums. So that is something I can do once all of this dries.
All right, guys, thank you for joining me painting and drawing this Pigcasso pig. I hope yours turned out as great as I love my little pig, and I hope you get to read the book with it.